and welcome back to Gabagalooza the podcast. It's another wonderful Monday evening. How is everybody doing? How are you?
I'm doing. I just want this week to be over already.
I could agree.
This weekend was nice because it did nothing.
I could agree.
Whole lot of nothing. Everything getting canceled and raining and staying home and playing a ton of video games.
I'm excited for school to be done because it's just boring. But I tell you what's not been boring. Baseball, folks.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, 1 month, 1 full month of baseball is behind us.
It is.
It's crazy to think that it's already been a month, and baseball has been on every day.
Yeah.
Once again, it's great that it's on every day. Can't complain.
Nope.
But something that was a little different this weekend than the rest of the games. There was games played in Mexico.
There were games played in Mexico, man.
Yeah, so the San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres played in San Francisco over the weekend. They played a 2-game set, and let me tell you, folks, it could have been a home run derby.
It could have been a home run derby. Now, granted, if you knew about this series, man, you knew about the location that they were playing at.
Yeah.
The location that they were playing at, folks. So, if you know baseball, you know about Coors Field in Colorado. The most highest elevated ballpark in America. A lot of home runs get hit out of there, but also the dimensions are huge, which accommodates it. But still, there's a lot of home runs that get out of that ballpark.
Absolutely.
And a lot of home runs was an understatement in this game.
15 total home runs over the span of 2 games.
I mean,
11 in game 1.
It's crazy, man.
That is insane.
And you look at the games, bro, like you watch them, they were just flicking the bat and it was going out.
Yeah, I know.
Like it's
it
just
was
routine fly balls that are just going out, that barely go out.
People were kind of just expecting, like a ball was hit in the air and, the right fielder would just kind of look and, the next thing you know, it was going over the fence.
Yep.
So, so I got the second game pulled up here. The second game was, won by the Padres, a total of 6-4.
More of a conventional ball game.
Yes, more of a conventional ball game. Only 4 home runs hit in this game.
Final of 6-4.
Yes, a final of 6-4. It wasn't nearly as bad as the first game, but let me tell you, folks, the first game, you want to think that it was nothing. 16-11. Yes. Won again by the Padres.
I saw that after the 4th inning, it was 8-5.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
that's a final score. That's
you.
Barely any final scores for most games.
That's barely the final score accumulated total of a series for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was an insane game. I mean, if you look at the stats here. I mean, literally, San Diego scored in every inning but the 6th.
It's crazy.
And, San Francisco had, 2 runs in the third, 4, in the 4th they had 6, and then the 7th they ended up scoring 3.
Mm-hmm.
But San Diego was able to kind of just keep with it.
Yeah,
the entire time.
Yep.
I would say it was kind of surprising that San Diego won both games, but it was kind of
they should win both games. On paper, they should win both games. But they have not had much success to start the season out. That's for damn sure.
Not at all. I mean, now that they have Tatis back, it's
helps a little bit. Even though he's hitting 220.
Yeah.
He hit a home run in that game, so that helps.
Yeah.
His confidence out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. But on to some better things. Our slices of goodness for this past week. And so if you're new, this is where we're going to highlight 2 players apiece, that really stood out over the last week. And I'm going to go ahead and just start off with my first slice of goodness. And my slice of goodness is Sonny Gray, the former starting pitcher for the New York Yankees, but now Minnesota Twin. And, over the season, he's had 35 innings, 4 wins, 0 losses. He's had an ERA, league-leading ERA of 0.77. Insane. He's played in 6 games so far, and 41 strikeouts. It's not bad. He's on the top 5 list for strikeouts in the league, and he's posting a 1.06 WHIP. Which is crazy. But let's just go over the last 7 games. I don't even have to go over the last 7 games. Let's just go over the last 3 games. So within the last week and a half, right? 2 wins, combined total of 13 innings, combined total of 8 hits, 1 earned run over the span of those 2 games, 1 walk, and a combined total of 15 strikeouts. I mean, you can't get much better than that. And he was posting an over 5 ERA when he was with New York. And look at him shining now as possible Cy Young candidate right now. Disappointing. That's all I could say.
For you as a Yankee fan,
Yeah.
disappointing. You know what else is disappointing?
What?
My slice of goodness today. And the only reason why I say it's disappointing is that it's, another disappointment to Yankees fans. And that's Aroldis Chapman. He left New York and went to Kansas City. Everyone thought it was a joke, and he's doing just fine there. Just like Sonny Gray, man, he's doing phenomenal. He's back to his Aroldis Chapman ways, and even playing for the shitty Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
Looking at his line so far this season, he has pitched in 11 games, 10 1/3 innings total.
Okay.
Has a 1-1 record, an ERA of 1.74. Pretty solid.
That's pretty good.
Out of the pen, and 19 strikeouts in 10 innings. Almost 20 strikeouts in 10.
My God.
And has a whip under 1 at .87.
That's almost 2 strikeouts an inning.
Yep.
That is wild.
It's absolutely insane. And in his first 7 games, right, or his last 7 games, have been, he's starting to come back up to earth a little bit. He had given up 2 earned runs in 6 innings. It's still decently solid for a reliever. Has struck out 11, but in his last 15 games was the 19 strikeouts, obviously.
Yeah.
That's he hasn't even played 15 games yet. He's only played the 10. So
that is big.
Not even 15 games, and he's already closing in on 20 strikeouts. That's pretty damn solid. And another case, man, where a guy leaves New York and just is better off.
It's upsetting for us Yankee fans out there because, and I mean, I can't even say just us Yankee fans because it's the same thing happens to you guys as Mets fans.
Same. I would say it happens to us less pitching wise.
Yeah, pitching wise, absolutely.
We get good pitchers.
Yeah.
For us, it's hitters.
I mean,
hitters to come in can do dog shit and then leave and do great.
Yep.
For you guys do get decent hitters.
We get decent hitters, but it's like as soon as they leave, it's like the pressure of being in New York is off their shoulders.
Yes.
And
they can
just play ball.
Not everybody can play in the pressure games that are of New York. It's just
absolutely.
The media, the fans, they're up your ass. And I can understand why people will crack to it. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a pretty good slice of goodness, though.
Regardless of the disappointment of Yankees fans, it's still pretty 2 good slices of goodness that we've got so far.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to go on to my second slice of goodness, my last slice of goodness for this past week. The Atlanta Braves outfielder, Ronald Acuna Jr. That's right. The 25-year-old is doing it again. He's outshining again. I mean, in 113 at-bats this year, he's got 41 hits, 26 runs, 5 home runs, 15 RBIs, 13 stolen bases, which is league leading, and he has a 363 average. I mean, what else can this guy do? I mean, he's hitting for power. He's hitting for average. He's got speed. Mm-hmm. I mean,
he's still an amazing player, man. He's still an amazing player, and what can he not do? I mean, with that, 360 plus batting average that he's got going on, the OPS over 1,000. I mean,
yeah, it's wild.
Keeping it up, man. He's gonna absolutely just rake, and the home runs will come.
Yeah.
They will absolutely come.
They will.
5 in the month of April doesn't seem like a lot for a guy like Ronald Acuna Jr., but he'll have 25 plus again, 30 plus.
If you think 5 home runs over the span of 6 months, right?
That's still
That's 30 home runs.
it's still a 30 plus home run season for him. So,
I mean,
that's gonna happen.
And there's gonna be a game where he hits 3 home runs in a game.
And he'll drive in 100 plus RBIs again.
Yes,
He
absolutely,
So-
absolutely. I mean, I'm just surprised. Like, he's leading the league in stolen bases.
Yeah, no.
And that's really why I wanted to highlight him on this slice of goodness, because I've talked about speedsters before and Jorge Mateo, but he's doing it in both categories.
I will say though, and we're gonna get back to it. I want to say like halfway through the season, and we really should, and we should look at the numbers of stolen bases.
Yeah,
Compared to last year and this year halfway through.
yeah.
Because with the new rules and the pitch clock and everything, and all the other rules around the pitching,
you look at the
gonna be a
stolen
lot.
base numbers as it is now. I mean, you could already say that the stolen bases are becoming more occurring than normal, than usual.
Yep.
I mean,
it's gonna happen.
even though it was an inch that they added to the bases, it's made a huge difference, especially in the bang bang plays.
Yep.
I mean, you can't ask for anything other than excitement in a baseball game, because when you're watching it, it can be slow. It can be, but when you get
these
some
new
excitement
rules,
on the
man,
bases,
it's making it exciting.
yeah, absolutely.
It is. And you can have your own opinion about if it's ruining the game or whatever. I mean, that's how you want the game to be.
Yep.
I will say that I'm kind of for it, and I think there's going to be a lot more new fans.
Agreed.
In the upcoming years.
Agreed. With games being shortened, in time frame, and a lot more action being packed into that time, I mean, it's great. I love it. I'm loving baseball right now.
Yep.
So that is my last slice of goodness for this past week. And who's your last slice of goodness?
My last slice of goodness is, I mean, he's doing okay since being called up.
Oh.
Not a top prospect, mind you.
Not a top prospect.
But it's the very tear-jerking story of Drew Maggi.
Drew Maggi.
The 33-year-old rookie, 15 years in the minor leagues, finally got his major league call-up.
Hell yeah.
And it was with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And he's played so far. He's got 6 at-bats, 2 hits. He got his first major league hit at home in front of the Pirates fans. He's driven in a run. That hit was a run batted in.
I mean, that's got to be
That's a 333 average.
I mean,
6 for 2 to start, and he got a run scored as well, and he drove in a run. So
Drew Maggi,
man, he's making a statement to people all over the world.
Yeah.
And that is, don't give up on your dreams, man.
Yeah, and that really is like it's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's a heart-throbbing story.
It really, really is. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna make like a big documentary on him and everything.
I wouldn't doubt it, man, because
and it's
15
gonna be a
years, 15 years or something. You have to think, like, most people retire at 20, right? And 15 years of doing something to finally like break even and like fulfill, like, yeah, this is the role I wanted to be in.
Yep.
15 years later.
15 years. 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Hey, that's a good slice of goodness to end it on for this past week, man.
It's a good
one.
one.
Go Drew Maggi.
I figured I'd end on that one. So
yeah, absolutely.
That was very
that's
nice.
a good one. Some other exciting news from this past weekend. The NFL draft happened. And I will say, I am a happy camper.
You are a happy camper.
After the draft. You want to click the sports thing on the thing?
Oh yeah, sure. Yes, absolutely.
I just looked and realized that we were still on the line.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me that.
Yes, absolutely. So, like I said, the draft. I'm a happy camper. The Colts made me happy, and they made a ton of Colts fans happy. But so did a lot of other teams in the draft. Now, let's do a little recap of some of the most notable picks from the first 3 rounds. So, number 1 overall, you have Bryce Young going to the Carolina Panthers. No, there was no surprises there. That's kind of what everyone expected to happen, right? Then you had the Houston Texans. This is where the draft really could have took a turn, and this is really the pick that was going to decide how the rest of the draft went, and especially the next 5 picks. So, the Houston Texans selected C.J. Stroud, Ohio State quarterback, at number 2. And that came as a shock, but that wasn't even the biggest shock from Houston of the night. They then traded back up with Arizona for the number 3 overall pick in the draft and ended up selecting Will Anderson Jr., edge rusher out of Alabama. And I tell you what, they gave up a lot to go get him, but they got 2 great players. And hey, it was really up in the air whether they were going to go quarterback or defense, and hey, they just said...
They got it!
They said, fuck it. I'm getting them both.
I'm getting both right now!
So, with Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, both best quarterbacks in the draft off the board, at the 4th pick, the Indianapolis Colts selected Anthony Flippin' Richardson.
It's the guy!
Quarterback, Florida. And let me tell you, oh man, I was jumping and screaming. I was the happiest man on earth. I was floating on cloud 9.
You were.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
And I didn't care if the Colts did anything else for the rest of the night. I was happy and content with how it all played out. I did not want Levis, and something ended up happening after that pick. Everyone kind of expected them to go Will Levis. Only a certain amount of people expected them to go Anthony Richardson. I hoped that they would.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to. I expected them to go Levis. Well, guess what? With the 5th pick, it was not Levis. It wasn't the 6th. It wasn't the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. It wasn't even the 30th. Folks, he fell big time.
Oh, yeah. When did he actually end up getting picked?
He got picked with the 32nd pick in the... the 33rd pick in the NFL draft, which was the 2nd pick in the 2nd round. But let's continue with the 1st round here.
Yes, please.
Seattle at number 5. They ended up going with Devin Witherspoon. It's a great corner. And that was part of the Russell Wilson deal. So they ended up getting Denver's pick.
Yep.
And then you have the Arizona Cardinals trading up with the Detroit Lions. And they ended up selecting offensive tackle Paris Johnson Jr. It's a great pick. It was a great pick for them. Las Vegas selected Tyree Wilson. Atlanta went running back Bijan Robinson. And the biggest shocker to me was that the Atlanta Falcons, they didn't need to take Bijan Robinson there. He would have fell. They could have traded back into the 1st round to get him. They let Jalen Carter fall to number 9. And at number 9, the pick that Chicago had originally had, they traded to Philadelphia. And the Philadelphia Eagles selected Jalen Carter, possibly the best player in the draft. Absolute steal of the night. I can't even say. The fact that he fell to 9, and he was possibly thinking about, there was contention about him going 1 in the draft. Big shocker. To round out the top 10, Chicago Bears, in the flip that they had with the Eagles, ended up selecting offensive tackle Darnell Wright. Packers and the Lions, 2 division rivals, some surprising picks. At 12, the Detroit Lions ended up selecting running back Jahmyr Gibbs. It was a shock. It was a real big shocker because they had DeAndre Swift.
Yep.
And at 13, the Green Bay Packers did not go with the wide receiver, did not go with a tight end. They went with linebacker Lucas Van Ness. How did you feel about that?
I like his name.
Yeah.
Earthbound reference. But other than that, why?
I mean, you guys passed on Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like,
I don't.
you passed on every wide
Brother,
receiver.
the dude for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I mean,
like, I just don't get. Oh, there goes my computer. I hate that. I don't know what's going on. It's been crashing. I literally have 2 tabs open on Safari and it's crashing. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But anyway,
but continue, please.
Yeah, like, it's just like, it was very surprising to me. Like, why wouldn't you go for an offensive weapon to help out your brand new QB, which really doesn't have anybody to work with other than a couple? You know, like, it's just like you need like a third or a fourth guy to build around. You need the 4 core wide receivers to really, get around, and that's just not. It's not the right pick. I'm sorry, it's not. Yeah. It's not the right pick.
I agree. And then the Jets, who they ended up trading Aaron Rodgers to, they also passed on a wide receiver and took Will McDonald IV out of Iowa State edge rusher. Surprising pick. I think he'll be good, but I really think that they could have went wide receiver or tight end there, and it really would have paid off for them. Mm-hmm. I really think that they should have went tight end, but that's to my own knowledge and that's to my own, thinking. But I think Will McDonald will fit right in. I think he'll play well right off the bat. I think he'll be an above average guy. At number 20, the first wide receiver off the board, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Seattle snagging him, and now they have 3 elite wide receivers.
They're gonna be scary.
DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and now in Jigba. I mean, come on. Then you had a little bit of a run on wide receivers. Chargers at 21 went Quentin Johnston. 22, the Baltimore Ravens went Zay Flowers, and 23, the Minnesota Vikings went Jordan Addison. The New York Metropolitan Giants, they went corner Deonte Banks. I think that was a good pick for them. Dalton Kincaid going 25 to the Buffalo Bills. And then one of the other biggest shocks of the night, at number 30, Nolan Smith, who was in a ton of people's top 10 in the draft, slid all the way to pick 30 for the reigning NFC champions. Philadelphia Eagles selected Georgia edge Nolan Smith. And now they have 2, 3, 4, 5 great people on the line. They're one of my winners of the night.
Yep.
And then, like we said earlier, I'm gonna say the first pick. First pick in the second round, the Pittsburgh Steelers went Joey Porter Jr. His dad played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, so it was a nice little homecoming for them.
Yeah,
and he
nice.
played in Penn State, so it was like a hometown guy. At 2, Tennessee Titans traded up for Will Levis. Talked to my father about that. He was not happy. He was ready to throw himself off the deck. Yeah, I'm telling you. You had the Colts trade back twice in the second round, which was okay. But, there really wasn't any big shocking names that went in the second round other than Will Levis and Joey Porter. I will say at number 32, the Denver Broncos ended up selecting Marvin Mims Jr., and I thought that was a very good pick. I thought that was a very good pick.
Yeah, man.
And then in the third round, I think one of the other steals in the draft, at number 79 in the draft in the third round, the Indianapolis Colts ended up selecting wide receiver out of North Carolina, Josh Downs. But the highlight of the third round, in my opinion, pick 68, the Detroit Lions selected quarterback Hendon Hooker, who I think out of every quarterback has the best path in his way. He can stay healthy and wait and learn from Jared Goff. And then next year, halfway through the season,
We're going to have to deal with him.
he comes in and shines. That is a great, great line of success for Hendon Hooker. And I will say that I think Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith were the biggest steals of the draft. And they both went to the reigning NFC champs.
Yep.
You think
God, Seattle,
you think
man. Holy shit.
You're the Philadelphia Eagles. You get the best edge in the draft, and you get one of the best linebacker edge rushers in the draft as well at number 30. 9 and 30. You're the defending NFC champs, and you walk away with two of the best players in the draft? It's crazy.
That's fucking insane, man.
That
Excuse
is
my French, but that is
crazy.
insane.
Do you have any other steals of the draft by chance?
I mean, like I said, man, Seattle. I had to outburst it just because I just think that they're going to be insane.
Yeah, I do think that they're
They're
going
going
to
to be
very good.
scary, bro.
They already had a very good corner, and Tyreek Woolen, and then they end up
Now they got the 2, and then now they have
now they
pretty
ended
much
up going
finished the wide receiver core that they have.
man.
Dude, man, I'm low key like excited to watch them because I know us Packers are gonna make the playoffs. So like I'm gonna be excited to watch them. Hopefully, just
I will
terrorize
say
the division that they're in.
That I will enjoy seeing Geno Smith shine,
Yep.
and I mean,
And hopefully he can stay there and stay healthy.
Yeah.
Because if he does, then yeah, they're gonna go places. But if they lose him, then the hard pressed to tell me that they're gonna keep it up.
yeah, I also do think that Darnell Washington at tight end out of Georgia at pick 93. I think that he was also a pretty good steal.
Yeah.
He's massive. He is massive, and he was the best blocking tight end in the draft. And this year has been the best tight end draft. In years. There was many tight ends drafted in the top 60.
In the whole draft.
I mean, there was a ton of tight ends drafted. And then I also think the Patriots got a steal at number 17 in Christian Gonzalez, cornerback. I think that was a really good steal.
That's a good
And
move right there.
they really didn't have to trade it or do anything. They were just there.
Yep.
So I think that was a good steal for them. Now, any other winners besides Eagles and Steelers? I mean, I'm sorry, Eagles and Seahawks.
Well, you got the Steelers that you just mentioned, and they're definitely another one of them too. They got the guy, coming in homegrown in a way because
Joe Jr.
his pops was playing for them.
Yeah, I mean, he won the Super Bowl with them against Arizona. So
Yeah, I remember that. So that's another steal right there. So
Yeah.
I think the Steelers have a good potential coming up to the future, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do in the next couple of years. How they're able to build all around that.
So I will say that I do have the Packers as one of my losers of the draft. I really think that Lucas Van Ness will be a good quality player.
He'll be good, but it's
I
not
just
what
don't-
we need.
Christian Watson will be good. He'll be good for Love.
He will.
I don't know necessarily about Dobbs. I think he shined with Rodgers, but I don't think that Love will be able to make him shine as well.
Yeah, if anything, it will take a while for him to shine.
And
if
having
he does.
having one receiver and another iffy receiver connection, you really needed to go receiver or tight end there.
Yeah.
You really needed to. And you guys ended up going tight end later in the draft, but I think you guys really could have gotten a steal in Jackson Smith and Jigba, or Jordan Addison, or Quentin Johnston, a taller wide receiver, to go get those deep balls that Love want to throw, you know. But I will say that the Packers are one of my losers. Another one of my losers of the draft, Will Levis. I mean, hey, it was a real reality check for him. I mean,
it was like watching a reality show. It was like
he was expected.
It was like watching The Bachelor or something.
He was expected to go number 4, and if he didn't go 4, there was expected that he might have gone 3 or 7. He didn't go anywhere in the first round, and he ended up leaving the draft because he was in Kansas City for the draft in the big room, right? And then after the first round was over, he drove back home. And then ended up staying at home because it was like a reality check. He kind of had to just wait there, you know, and no one knew when he was going to go. He's my second loser in this draft. You got any losers?
I mean, like you said before, man, with the Detroit Lions doubling up again on running backs.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that pick 12, right? They went with Jahmyr Gibbs, and they already had, DeAndre Swift.
They already have Swift.
Great.
It's another situation where you literally just got rid, or someone just signed, freaking Jamal literally signs with freaking New Orleans
with
now.
The Saints. Yep.
He signs with the Saints, so now you
only have the one running back.
So now you only have to worry about the
Jahmyr
one running
Gibbs.
back, and now you draft Gibbs to replace Williams?
Well, so they also, I believe it was in the 3rd round, they traded DeAndre Swift to the Eagles. Talk about winners of the draft. I mean, but, I will say the Hendon Hooker pick saves them, in my opinion, from not being one of the, worst,
biggest losers
losers, in my opinion. But the Jahmyr Gibbs pick at 12 was a reach. It really was a reach.
Yep. I agree.
Any other losers?
And the New York Jets too. They didn't really make a big splash in this.
Will Anderson. It's another team that passed on a wide receiver.
Another team that passed on a wide receiver where they really need to get one.
Yeah.
And at least build him around Rodgers for the time that he's there. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're able to get to have a guy work with a guy like Rodgers who has such a veteran presence. He's literally going to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And have someone get built under that would be pretty cool. Nope.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think to break off from the draft a little bit, I thought it was a little interesting that Rodgers wasn't going to take 12.
So here was I'm pretty sure this is how it went down, right? Because Joe Namath said if Rodgers joined the Jets, he would gladly unretire his number.
Yes. I'm
almost positive that Rodgers was just like, I can't do that. You're too much of a legend. I cannot do that to you. He was very, I have a feeling that he was very humble about it and just like, I can't do that.
I heard that was part of it. I heard that another part of why he didn't was because he felt like number 12 was a part of
Green Bay.
It was a different part of his career.
Yeah, different part, different life, basically.
Different life.
Yeah.
So he's almost starting new, starting fresh. So, hey.
It's a good idea, though. I would probably do the same thing. I would be like,
I think I
number
would
12. That's Green Bay, and honestly, that number's going to get retired at Green Bay.
Yes.
At some point.
So I honestly, come to think of it, I don't know if the Jets play the Packers this year. It might be a throw-in game that they might have. But,
yeah.
I mean, I
would like to think it's a throw-in game.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just retire his number when he comes into town.
Maybe a little too early. A little too early.
You think so?
Yeah, a little bit too early to retire the number. I would like to think. I would like to think that they would. If it's, I mean, unless he's still playing, then yeah, cool. He can be in the building, but maybe 4 or 5 years from now, they'll end up retiring it.
Okay. You think 4 or 5 years? You don't think when he retires?
That's how it usually is, though. Right?
I mean, I feel like if he retires, after this season or possibly, in 2 seasons, I think as soon as he retires, they do it. I think, honestly, that he'll sign a 1-day contract and retire with the Packers.
Retire as a Packer.
I
just think regardless, 5 years from now, they will retire his number, no matter what. If he's still in the league or not, or in his last season with the Packers. Regardless, that's when they'll retire his number. That's my prediction for that.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. That's our football talk for the week. It was a good weekend for most football fans. For some, not so much. And we go on. The fight for Lord Stanley continues. Round 1 is nearly complete. Only one matchup remains.
There's only one game left tonight, and
yes.
in fact, it starts in like an hour.
Yes, and that is the Rangers and Devils tied 3-3. Game 7
They
tonight.
are going to a Game 7.
So
one of 3 Game 7s on this list that we've had so far in the playoffs.
Yes. So let's break down the first round, and we'll go into the second round matchups afterwards. Mm-hmm. So in the first round, let's start in the West. The Seattle Kraken, they beat Colorado.
They beat off the defending Cup champs in Colorado and get them in 7 games of one of the 3 7-game series that they had. Seattle last night, man. 2 goals early in the game that kept them up. They only gave up 1 goal against Colorado, and they just hold it down for the Kraken. They won their first playoff series in their first ever appearance in franchise history.
The reigning champs.
And they beat the reigning champs. Now, granted, they had a couple of guys get suspended during the freaking series, like Makar, which was a very big hit for them because Makar is one of the best, if not the best, defenseman in the league. So, and they did lose some guys from that Stanley Cup team last year, so they weren't as powerhousey as they were, but they were still pretty good. I thought that they were going to beat the Kraken.
So did I.
I didn't think they would beat them in 7 games.
Neither did I.
I thought, I'm pretty sure I said it was around like 5 games.
I think that we all kind of conceded on 5 games.
Yeah, but Seattle said,
fuck you! Shocking the world.
Shocking the world, man. And they are going to take on the winners of the second series, which was between the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. And the Stars took away victory in that series.
We really thought the Wild was going to take it.
I thought the Wild, I thought something had to give. They made a lot of good moves at the trade deadline.
They did.
They got some veterans to be put on that second and third line. And then, like fucking the killer. As much of a goal scorer that he is, I thought it was going to go off this playoffs. He didn't really do anything. But I guess it was just goaltending that really didn't help them out in this series. And Dallas shown why they're the number 2 seed in that division. So it's it's interesting to see that this next series is going to be Seattle and Dallas. Wild card number 1 against seed number 2. So it's at least that part of the bracket. So at least another tough opponent.
Yes.
Kraken are going to take. And listen, we'll get to it at the end of this playoff bracket. But regular season don't mean shit.
It really does not.
It don't mean shit.
Let's move on to the next series, and that was the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Winnipeg Jets.
My prediction was correct. The Las Vegas Golden Knights have defeated the Winnipeg Jets in 5 games. A very disappointing loss in the series for Winnipeg. I really thought in the first 3 games, like last week, thought that they could actually make it like a 6-game series. But that wasn't the case. Jack Eichel and the Vegas Golden Knights showed up, and they showed why they are the number 1 seed, number 1 best team in the West, and shut down the second wildcard team in the Winnipeg Jets. The whiteout wasn't good enough for the Winnipeg Jets. Let's put it that way. Pretty summed up, right to the point. I mean, not a big shocker at all as Vegas heads to the second round.
And Vegas will face the winner of, which was our favorite series of round 1.
God, that was
in Edmonton and the Los Angeles Kings.
This series was so much fun to watch.
It really was. It was electric the entire time.
I'm so happy to announce, although I do like the Kings, the Edmonton Oilers
McJesus is alive.
Draisaitl and McJesus are going to the second round and have defeated them in 6 games.
So, number 1, Golden Knights versus number 2, Edmonton in round 2.
And that is 1-2 right there.
Yes.
That is literally 1-2. The top 2 record best teams in the Western Conference, and the best goal scoring team has made it to the second round, and I honestly really hope that they make it to the Cup.
Yes.
I really hope they do.
Yes, indeed. And let's go on to the East. So, your New York Islanders were facing off against the Carolina Hurricanes.
Granted, I was just being, New York Islander fan when I said, hey, go Islanders, 7 games. I knew that they wouldn't be able to beat Hurricanes, and they did not. They lost in surprisingly 6 games, in my opinion. But they did come up short to Carolina. A heartbreaking ender. Did you see that goal?
I did not.
Oh my god. It literally, dude, the guy, right? So, here's, the net, right? It's, right here. This is the boards.
Yep.
Dude's right here. He shoots it on a horrible angle. And our goalie had his left pad down to get the post, but the other one on an angle, which left just the tiniest little gap, went across his inner leg, off the skate, over the goal line. And that's how it all ended. And I wanted to fucking die.
Well, the Carolina Hurricanes will face off against the winner of tonight's matchup in Game 7 in, I believe, it's in New Jersey tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be in New Jersey because Game 7 will be taking place in that facility. The Rangers have taken it back to Newark as they were down 3-2 in Game 6 and destroyed the Devils, and hopefully they do the same tonight.
Yes.
I want at least one New York team to make it to the second round.
One of the biggest shockers, I thought that, I didn't think that they were going to get swept, but I definitely swept. I'm sorry. I definitely didn't think they were going to get swept, but I really thought that they were going to lose. Tampa Bay Lightning and Toronto Maple Leafs.
The Maple Leafs have won the series in 6 games, thanks to 3 overtime winners, and including Game 6 overtime winner Johnny T. That motherfucker won it in Tampa Bay.
Johnny Tavares.
And the Toronto Maple Leafs, for the first time since 2004, are off to the second round.
That's crazy.
The curse has been lifted.
Hey, but you know what curse hasn't been lifted? The winner of the President's Trophy.
Now, to the people who are new, what the hell's the President's Trophy? The President's Trophy is the award they give out to the team with the best record of any team in the league to end the regular season. And the Boston Bruins were that team. And they broke records with that title. The most amount of wins in a regular season. The most amount of points in a regular season. And they lost in 7 games. To the Florida Panthers. To the Florida Panthers.
Game 7 OT winner.
In Boston.
Oh my God.
They had 20 losses all year.
The biggest shocker of the first round, in my opinion.
They had 20 losses in the regular season. They lost 3 of them at home in the playoffs. They had only lost 10 games at home.
Let's just say Florida. And for them Boston Bruins fans, Nicholas Sciamatori. I'm sorry, my man. But hey,
I am sorry.
Let's forget about the first round, and let's move on to the second.
Now, granted, we're going to be able to look at 3 full matchups, not the 4th, because it is not set in stone yet.
Yes, correct.
But we could look at it in 2 different ways. So we'll do that at the very end. But we can go back to the top and talk about the first.
But first, hey,
of here,
our record from the first round. I had 3 wins. You had 2. So we guessed a decent amount of games and series correctly. But unfortunately, not all. And given there is still one series left to be played, so we won't entirely know how we did in the first round until tonight.
Yep.
But let's move on to our predictions, my friend.
And we'll go quick about it because still got the rest of the show to get to. But we'll go from the top. First round of 2 matchups in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Seattle Kraken and Dallas Stars.
I think it was a good run by Seattle.
Bit of a Cinderella tale, coming out and defeating,
the best,
one of the best,
best
of the best in the West.
You
But it may fall in this round, especially looking at the series that Dallas had against Minnesota, who was a pretty good goal-scoring team. They shut them down pretty well.
Yeah, I will say Dallas in 6.
I will agree as well. Seattle's going to make it interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
But not that interesting.
I even think that Seattle might take the opening game of the series.
They could. And it will be in Dallas.
Yes.
It will not be in Seattle. So, I'm pretty sure they did the same thing against Colorado. So, I mean, really, at this point, if Seattle can keep it up, they could. Yeah. But realistically, I just don't see them beating Dallas. I think Dallas will end up going to the Western Conference Finals.
Agreed. On to the next matchup. The Las Vegas Golden Knights versus the Edmonton Oilers.
Now, I will say this for Vegas. It was almost practically, not really that much, but I would still like to think that it was a cakewalk for them in the first round, beating Winnipeg. They had some close games, though. I mean, the first game, they lost 5-1, and that was a 4-point score game, and then they just took the rest of it. I mean, they ended up having, another 3-goal game, a win in 2 overtime, another 2-goal game, and a 3-goal game. And after their 1 goal in game 1, losing 5-1, they ended up scoring 5-5, 4-4. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they do against the offensive powerhouse that Edmonton is. And
I mean, looking back at the Edmonton LA series, I mean, both of those teams are powerhouses as they are.
Yeah.
And they beat them in 6 games.
They beat them in 6 games, and they outscored them pretty well, especially in the last 3 games of the series. Edmonton won in an overtime, but scored 5 goals in that game, and then they end up scoring 6 in the next 5 in the dagger. So it's gonna be a high scoring series, bro. It's gonna be a high scoring series. I
think so.
Big Jesus is going to the Western Conference Finals.
Agreed.
He will do it. He's gonna do it.
It's going 7.
He's gonna do it. I'm gonna say 6.
You gonna say 6?
I'm gonna say 6.
Okay. All right. On to the last finalized matchup in the East. The Florida Panthers.
Which will be in Toronto.
Against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs.
The Maple Leafs. I mean, I would like to think if the Panthers are able to kind of stick around as much as they did with Boston, they never really got blown out. I mean, the most blown out game that they had against them was a 6-2 final. And then they scored 7 on them in game 6. So, they're sneaky. Florida's really sneaky, and I knew they were going to be sneaky, throughout the whole season. But coming up against a team on a high as they are in Toronto, 3 overtime wins, though. I will say this team is a very clutch hockey team. They know what it takes to win in the playoffs in overtime. And obviously, the Panthers did that last night against the Bruins. Yes. But I would like to think, again, since coming off the high of beating a team in the first round, I think Toronto's going to take it.
I think Toronto takes it. I think they take it in 6. I think I'm riding the Toronto wave. Hey, you win your first playoff series since 2003,
Much as sometimes most people can't stand their fans, they low-key deserve it because they've been waiting so long to get even close, to have a taste.
I mean, I didn't think that they were going to get swept, but I thought it was going to be done in 5. And I was completely wrong.
Yep.
I mean...
And I thought they would give it a fight against Tampa. I said 7,
You
but
did.
Tampa would come on top. I thought that Toronto would choke, and that would be that. But they took it in 6.
They took it. And I'm thinking that they're going to take it in 6 again.
Yeah, I like to think so as well.
All right. So on to the not finalized matchup. The Carolina Hurricanes versus either the New Jersey Devils or the New York Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at it both ways. Let's look at Carolina versus Jersey.
Now, with Carolina and Jersey being the talk here and having Jersey in the mix, they have exploded late in this series and at a right time for them. You know, they let the Rangers slip and, get the first 2, and then they took the last 3. Devils are pretty good on the road. They're not that bad.
No,
and,
not at all.
And obviously they fell on the road in their last game against the Rangers, which finally the fans showed up.
Yeah.
Which was great. Great to see. I absolutely love it. Listen, man, if the Devils can stay confident and beat the Rangers tonight, they can give Carolina a pretty good run for their money because, they don't really have a ton of goal scorers on that team. But they do have a pretty all-around good physical team, and that really helps. That helped with the Islanders.
Yeah.
They were able to really rough them up, and they're good at keeping puck. They have keeping the puck. They have a really good a puck possessioning team.
Yeah, there really wasn't many turnovers.
And that will really help them out a lot. The Devils, however, are as sloppy as the Rangers when it comes to puck possession. So that could be a key factor between the two of them. What would you think would end up coming away if that's the series?
If Carolina faced off against Jersey, I think Carolina would win in 7.
It'd be another very,
I think it's going to be another... I think both of these go a really long way. I think both series go 7. If they face either team, I think Carolina wins, though, in 7 against Jersey.
I would like to think so as well. And then, going into the next one, if the Rangers win tonight and they go and play Carolina, that could be a different story.
It's true.
I low-key would like to think that the Rangers could do some damage against Carolina because they have a pretty physical team.
I would say if the New York Rangers faced off against the Carolina Hurricanes, the Rangers would take it in 6.
Yeah, I like to think so as well. It would be a pretty even series, I would say, besides puck control between Devils and Hurricanes. But the Devils, I don't know, I still would like to think the physicality would be the number one take for the Hurricanes as well. But the Rangers, however, if they face them, it's going to be a pretty even matchup.
Honestly, I think that if they faced off against New York, I think it would go back and forth for 4 games.
Yeah.
And then I think New York would close it out the final 2 games.
It won't be like what it was in the Devils series where they take the first 2 and then lose the next 3.
Yeah, it
will not be that. It will be win-loss, win-loss, win-loss.
Absolutely.
Something like that. It will be around that kind of range of the game. So, yeah, I like to think that Carolina will come on top against the Jersey Devils, unless they can prove me wrong, man. Like I said, they don't really have that much playoff experience. They only got 2 guys, really.
Yeah.
2 or 3 guys. And it would be interesting to see former teammates, what's his name? Timo Meyer and Brent Burns, former teammates of the San Jose Sharks, in the playoffs against each other. So that'll be pretty interesting to see. But go Rangers.
Go Rangers. Go Rangers. Absolutely. Well, we're done with sports, and we're on to our favorite segment of the show that's on every week of the show, Ashley's outrageously random questions. If you're new here, this is where we have 5 questions apiece, and we read them to each other. These questions have been written by my wife, and we answer them live to you, the audience.
To you.
Now, there is a little exception here. We want you to respond to all these questions. We want your, responses to all these. But there's one question in particular. Question number 11. This question is for you, the audience. That is the question where we will be waiting for your opinion in chat before we continue on with the show.
Mm-hmm.
Without further ado, please start off.
I will start. And it's upside down. First question of the night. What is the all-time best movie quote? God, there's a lot.
Nacho!
That's one. That could be one of them.
Show me your powers.
They give me no eagle powers. They give me no nutrients.
They give me no nutrients.
We were watching Nacho Libre last Monday when we were here. But there's a lot. I mean, that's one that's a couple that we've been using recently. I can't really think of any. I mean, well, one of the best is, hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go a little personal. I mean, like, a little bit more personal of a quote. Don't try to please people. Be yourself. And I've heard that in a bunch of movies.
Very nice.
But I think that's a really good quote.
Mm-hmm. Good question.
Good question
That,
indeed.
it's... That's a good one, too. Always.
Always. Good one indeed. Good one indeed. Question number 2. Who is on your car ride music playlist?
Everybody.
Yeah, I mean...
Everybody.
So, I'll say, okay? I got 2. I'll say 3. 3 playlists that I normally play. I got my nighttime rides playlist, which is normally, it's all hip-hop, right? And, nice hip-hop, R&B kind of music. A lot of Mac Miller, Drake, J. Cole, Rick Ross, John Legend type of music. Then I got my anime playlist, where, Lisa's on there, and, I mean, you got so many other ones on there. And lo-fi, I mean, Elijah Nang. That's the man.
Mm-hmm.
He's the man.
Yeah, I'm the one that turned you on to that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's been pretty all over the place for me. I mean, like today I listened to my hard rock playlist, which is like my my early to mid 2000s or like late 90s, like hard rock. I do like listening to that once in a while, and soft hard rock too is really good. That's really nice. I love listening to my soft hard rock playlists. Like a night car rides. I like those a lot because it's it's lively, but like it's nice and soothing. I used to listen, like I said, like my lo-fi playlist all the time, especially at night.
I almost can't listen to it at night.
I know, because like you want to fall asleep.
Yeah,
it doesn't really fall me, like music doesn't really put me to sleep. I'll say, like unless it's like white noise, that's different. But I would have to say like lo-fi, is pretty much one of them. I'm trying to think of like any others that I really listen to nowadays. I mean, I have my like modern pop playlist, which is like pretty much from like 2015 to like now pop music. Mm-hmm. Like good one, like like little like soulful R&B, kind of like hip hop pop music, and like like some alternative, like some nice alternative stuff, and just that kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
Nice listening, kind of music. So. Yeah. Oh, and I do sometimes like to listen to. You like jazz? I do like listening to jazz sometimes. Smooth.
Smooth
jazz.
jazz.
Smooth or piano jazz. It's always nice as well. It's very, very nice
Jazz.
and smoothing. Very, very good question as we move on
Yes.
to
Yes,
number
indeed.
3. What is a safety's job? Oh, what is a safety's job in the NFL lineup?
Okay, so a safety is almost like a corner, and a corner guards wide receivers. But a safety is a hybrid of two positions, a corner and a linebacker.
Yep.
And it's almost they are almost always in zone coverage.
Yeah,
There are
which-
times where safeties
Yep.
are in man coverage where they're lined up man to man with the wide receiver.
Yeah.
But then there's other times where they're just guarding
Whoever's available.
a certain bubble on the
Yeah.
field.
Like, they're basically like, whoever enters my bubble,
I'm guarding.
I'm guarding him.
Yes.
And if he leaves it, well, so be it. He leaves it. I gotta get
Yeah.
the next person that goes into it because
Yeah.
there's another guy who has his own defense tagged onto him.
And I mean, in all reality, their main job is to guard the receivers, but their secondary job, which is almost their primary job, is to read the quarterback. And that's what safeties do the best. I mean, really, they're the ones that get a lot of picks. It's a good question.
Good question.
Good question indeed. All right, question number 4. Why is Roger Goodell a schmuck / get shit on?
You can answer that.
So,
you know more about it.
There are more reasons that there are more reasons than I can name, but I will name one in particular, and it's the suspensions. And he's the one in charge of handing down suspensions on the league, and he's the one that gets overall say. Tell me how somebody can bet on a playoff hockey game in an NFL facility and get suspended for 6 games, but somebody who physically, on video, abuses a woman gets 4 games. How does that make sense?
How does that match up?
How does that match up? Right? I mean, come on. What, we gave 6 weeks to a guy who literally was betting on football. On himself. He was betting on himself. And he got 6 games. But someone betting on hockey, because he was on the facility of the Detroit Lions, Jamal Williams, I'm sorry, not Jamal Williams, but their wide receiver, how does he get 6 games? And somebody who can abuse somebody gets 4.
Yep.
Or 2. And somebody who, does drugs gets 4 games. D-Hop was suspended for 4 games. It was for violating the PED. Like, how does that match up to betting on hockey? How does that match up? That's my main reason on why I can't stand him.
Yeah.
But there's, among other reasons, fines are another one. The NFL hands out fines, and he's in charge of creating rules. Now he has almost the overall say on what rules pass, and you can't you telling me that someone can't get stencils on their cleats and wear them in the game. You're gonna fine them $25,000 for it. You're gonna fine Marshawn Lynch, I think it was $35,000 or $40,000 for missing a press conference. If you were to, if you were to equal that to money in our terms, that's about $400 to him. That's about $400. for choosing not to talk to the media.
Oh, good God.
It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Don't get it.
It's ridiculous.
Don't get it.
Good question.
Very good question. What is the weirdest dream you have ever had? I mean, I could kind of tell you like a weird, vivid dream that I had, like, not last night, but the night before. Like, I was at like this hockey arena. Don't recognize it. It was just totally made up in my mind. And I went to 2 games. And I was trying to like sneak into like the press box. Don't know why. And I went through like various clubs to get to it, like towards it. And I met a lot of people that I didn't recognize whatsoever. And like, I just remember I was trying to get something. I don't know what I was trying to get. And I never got it. Like, like you'll have dreams like that where you're trying to get something or trying to accomplish something, and then you just wake up.
Do you?
And it takes so long.
Do you have dreams where like you feel like you're looking for something, and then all of a sudden you kind of stop and you're like, "What was I looking for?" And the entire dream changes, and it's like an entire new story starts.
Probably.
I've had them. I've had those happen before because I've woken up and gone, "What?"
Yeah. Now the reason, right, why I say this is a weird dream. Even though I never recognized the arena that I was at, I've had another dream about that same arena before.
Interesting.
It was like a white concrete arena. It had like black seats, black railings. And then that, like, I'm like, I remember I was like, after the dream, or like, I don't know if I remember it was after the dream or like while I was in it. Like, I just kind of had this sense of like, I've been here before, kind of deal. But like, totally made up place. Never been to it in real life. And it happened again.
I say that one that at least sticks out to me, in Dragon Ball, Kami's tower, right?
Yeah.
He is the hyperbolic time chamber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's kind of just infinite white, and you can kind of just walk off and just keep going. I kind of was having like a dream where I was kind of walking in kind of like an all white place, right? And there was just white floor, and I was just walking. And I remember like just walking, and then all of a sudden the floor disappeared and I just started free falling, and I woke up. It was a dream within a dream. I was still fucking dreaming. I woke up and got out of bed. I ended up getting dressed. I made myself a coffee. I was in a completely different house. I went outside. I lent out a Rottweiler that I don't even have. And then the Rottweiler, I remember I walked back in the kitchen for something, right, in this whatever house, right, and all of a sudden the dog slammed into the glass door, and I woke up. Oh! And I actually woke up.
That's crazy, man. I will say, I just remember this now. This will be my dream. I'll put that one that I just had recently as an honorable mention, just because I remembered it. But I remember this one as a kid, and I've had it reoccur. And I was in like a game show that took place in like a medieval, almost like D&D environment, where it was like almost like a Coliseum type stadium. It was like really high, like beat up wood with like stands in a bowl, and you're in a cylinder basically.
Okay.
And the game is that you're tied up against the wall that flips, and you have to answer questions in front of judges. And if you guess the questions wrong, you flip to the other side of the wall, and a monster eats you.
What? Oh my god!
Don't know why I remember like a couple times I've had this dream, a few times when I was a kid, and like first of all, whoever won, I never lost. Like I was always like top 3, top 4, top 2. But like I always wonder what happened to those people who just got ate.
All of a sudden, I
just
look
got
to my
eight.
left and the wall flips. And then you hear, ah!
It's crazy. Like, he literally is just... and I'm like, okay!
You just hear screams. Okay, next question, please.
Like, straight up. And the crowd's going fucking wild. And I'm just like, yay!
All right,
So,
that was a good question.
Very, very good question. Definitely brought up some weird memories.
All right, question number 6. What podcast would you love to be a guest on? Now, my answer is going to be the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, Pat McAfee show would be great
Because
for you.
I mean, hey, if in all reality, I would go work for Pat if he let me be on the show, because I love talking sports, and you know, I watch it every day. I know all their things that they do. Like, I mean, and plus Pat was one of my favorite Colts. Like,
Yep.
Can't beat it.
I would say I don't like I said, I don't really listen to podcasts that much. But one podcast I would actually love to be on is the Distractables.
Oh, I was gonna say
be
Markiplier's
with
podcast.
fucking Markiplier,
Bob
Meister, and Lord Minion, who are Bob and Wade.
Bob and Wade.
That would just be fun. Like
Yeah,
they
it
just
really would
just
be.
shoot the shit, and it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
And they just tell some funny ass stories. I would love to hear their reactions to like my
I
stories.
kinda
You know what I
would
mean?
just-
And I would love
yeah.
to hear more about them.
I would love to hear, honestly, like, you know, Bob and Wade are cool, but I would just love to hear, like, story upon story upon story upon story from Markiplier. Like,
Well, even stories of like them, like in
Yeah, I
college,
mean,
or like
true.
Mark and Wade as kids because they grew up together, as kids, and Mark and Bob met each other in college.
Yep.
So like, it would just be really cool, and also just to be in the presence, to like actually hear Markiplier, feel his voice in
really.
person. That would be sick.
I'm
So-
right next to you.
So yeah, that would be a podcast that I would love to ever
That's a
be a
good
guest
one.
on. That would be awesome.
Good one. I would love to be on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh yeah, I mean
That's
that's just an automatic.
yeah, that's kind of like why wouldn't you want to talk to a guy who's talked to everybody and knows, kind of
Whole shit ton of information.
is something about everything.
Yep.
Like, and just talking about stories and smoking weed. I
Smoking
mean,
weed and
like, come
crazy
on.
shit. I also would love to be on doesn't Bert Kreischer have like a podcast?
Yes,
It's like
Two Bears, One Cave.
Two Bears, one cave.
Yeah,
That'd
Tom
be-
Segura and
that sounds like
Bert.
fun.
Yeah, that one's another one that would be that would be my honorable mention. Honestly,
Would you consider Hot Ones a podcast?
So I wouldn't consider it a podcast.
You wouldn't?
I would consider it a show.
Okay. It's more of just a show than a regular podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
But overall, still a great question.
Yeah, honestly, great question.
All right, down to my last two. What cheese is the best?
Parmesan.
Parmesan. Parmesan.
Regat.
A little buttergut and mozzarella. I mean, realistically, probably mozzarella.
I would go with Parmesan.
I go with mozzarella.
I kind of just love Parmesan cheese. But the mozzarella. I mean, you
Mozzarella.
can't.
I can
you
actually,
Can't go wrong with
I can
mozzarella.
actually eat. Like, I don't like eating cheese straight up. I could actually eat mozzarella cheese straight up.
So
without a
like,
problem.
See, I can't.
I can. Like, I can. I love mozzarella sticks, and I could literally just eat straight up raw.
I will say,
fucking
mozzarella
cheese.
sticks, I like.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
I've had like the first time I ever like noticed that like I could eat it was like there was like this like hors d'oeuvre kind of dish that like was at a party once. It was kind of like an appetizer, and it was literally just like tomato and mozzarella, and I ate it straight up. And then I was like, the cheese, cheese, grommet, cheese. Not even Wensleydale.
good question.
Another good question that I have a definite answer to,
My-
which is crazy because I don't really like cheese that much, but
Yeah.
I do like I'll eat it like on burgers and like other stuff. But like straight up, no. But mozzarella, I'll eat straight up. So I'll say mozzarella.
Good question. My next question: what are you doing in the purge? I'm hunting.
I'm hunting.
Oh baby, I am hunting.
Yeah, I mean, I got no other choice. I would be a bitch and just do nothing.
I will
but
say,
like...
I will say, I've always kind of dreamed about having a barndominium, right? And I've always dreamed about on the top of my barndominium having like a ladder that goes up to like a lookout on top of my barndominium, and I always kind of wanted to have something like that. So if someone would come on my property, or if there was an animal, or whatever, I could easily get up there, have clear vision of everything, and just have a rifle and punk.
Hopefully you don't get sniped.
When I have kids, that would be what I would be doing. But,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I would have to just live in the moment kind of deal. Like, I would have to react accordingly. I really wouldn't know exactly what I would do in a purge, to be completely honest. Something would happen.
Oh, yeah.
Good or bad.
Oh, yeah.
It just depends on the situation.
Oh, yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, very good question.
I have a question that I kind of just want to throw in here. Do you think we should implement a purge in real life?
That'd be awful. That would be awful.
It would be awful.
I wouldn't like to participate in it. If it's just like organized and you're organized to die.
So something like the Hunger Games?
It's almost, like I kind of see that as if it's like the
Do you
Hunger
think they
Games.
should do something like the Hunger Games for countries? I honestly think that could be a good alternative to war.
True.
You throw some of your best soldiers or whatever into, a giant arena, and you let them have it out, and whatever country is left standing.
I will say, for war, it's a good idea because
I mean, okay, it's terrible to talk about death this.
Death and war, but
it's terrible to talk about it like this. But if you're looking at hundreds of thousands of people that could die in a war, or the thousands upon thousands that could die in a war,
not even including civilians,
versus the 10 that, right, if you had 12 people, the 11 people that would die, right, the 11 people, I mean, even if they did 10, I mean, are those lives, equal to the others? Absolutely not. But I mean, like, you would kind of go with saving the thousands upon people, and kind of go at war like that.
I agree.
No guns,
Yeah, no. Just literally, like, find whatever you can and survive. And you win.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, the problem with that is that we have sore losers in this world. And we'd all die.
That would end up taking something like every country on Earth to be involved in something like NATO.
Yeah.
In order for that to actually, like, happen.
Exactly. All right, I think this is my last question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone through the 4. This is my 5th. And it is, what is it about pitching that made you want to be a pitcher? I guess in general. I'm technically a pitcher now for my college team, so it's kind of worked out that way. This could be a great question for my brother. Whenever we have him on the show one of these days, we should definitely say this one for him, because he's literally a professional baseball pitcher. He literally is in the San Francisco Giants organization as a professional pitcher.
He's a flying squirrel.
He is a flying squirrel, and I mean, it could work both ways. Like, even if you're a hitter, and what makes you like pitching. So, what makes you like pitching, man?
Honestly, it was the satisfaction of being able to control the game.
Yes. That's my answer.
That was always, like, the main reason why I liked pitching. And I was always kind of better at pitching than I was at hitting anyway. I would say, like, I'm probably a better hitter than I am a pitcher, but I'm pretty decent. Like, not to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty decent. I mean, not to toot your own horn either, but you are.
Like,
not that this you're pitching.
Pitching, like, I just know how to locate. I don't throw for speed. Like, like,
literally.
When, like, that's what's gonna, like, dictate on why I'm a better hitter than a pitcher, is because I can't throw gas, but I can definitely somewhat carve a strike zone up, and hit my spots where I need to hit them, and like, it's just like you said, that's literally my answer. It's just the opportunity to be able to control an entire game.
Yeah,
like, it's basically up to you and the catcher.
Yeah,
Like, you were controlling
I will say,
everything.
I definitely agree with, like, I wasn't the guy that threw for speed,
Yep.
and velocity. I was the guy that, painted the edges, but also had a good breaking ball stuff.
Yeah, and another
And-
reason too, it's fun to throw breaking balls. It's
Yeah,
fun to,
it's
fun to throw
fun to make-
curveballs,
it's-
change ups, and other
it's
crazy wacky pitches.
One of the most satisfying things in the world is to make a batter look
stupid.
It is one of the most satisfying things in the world. It's almost
shut up,
like
stupid.
it's almost like when you go golfing and you play terrible, but then you have that one nice drive on hole 17, and you're like, this is the best day of my life. It's like that.
It was a good all around day.
Yeah, like it's that one thing that makes you keep wanting to do it.
Yep.
And being the guy that never threw for speed, I never was known for that. I was known for, like, he's gonna go out there, he's gonna he's gonna have the fielders get involved.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna give up many hits.
Yeah, I will say I'm the guy where, like, I give my fielders, plays. I give them a workout, and I keep them busy, but I don't walk a ton of people at all. I don't walk people, and, like, I'll give up hits, so be it. But I do not walk a lot of people. I'm very good with my command and control. But yeah, like, to answer that question, it's the ability to control the game and to throw whatever kind of pitch you want, and it's kind of fun that way.
I want to backtrack here to what we were talking about, the Hunger Games and war. Jolly in chat said there was a book about possibly doing Hunger Games and war, and he said there was a book where a country who would fight each other would send 100 soldiers, and they would do a war game, and the winner would get their way. If the losing country didn't obey the outcome, they would have their entire population given to the other country. So it would almost be like a complete country takeover.
Yeah, like a complete, like you literally take over the
It's almost
country
like
that's not willing to comply.
A complete changeover like that.
Wow,
Like,
holy crap.
he said killed. Entire population killed.
Okay, well, that's different.
That's completely different. I don't know about that.
I would, honestly, like, the taking over of land, like taking over another country, that sounds sort of fair. Sort of.
It does.
If you're not willing to comply.
Yeah, if you're not willing to comply.
Yeah, exactly. And
I
like,
mean, this is one thing, though. A lot of war stems from land, but also another, big portion of war stems from money.
Money. Yep. It used to be land, but
It
now
used to
it's
be
now
land.
it's towards
now
money.
it's money.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we're down to our final question, and then it's your turn for your question. But question number 10 is upside down. What is the most recent word you have learned?
Most recent new word that I've learned. I mean, there's probably a bunch, but I can't. I can't remember. Maybe I could check my Google history. Maybe.
Trying to think of one that stands out.
I mean, not like very recent. Man, like, I don't know, bro. That's a great question.
That is a good question.
That could honestly be an audience question too.
Yeah. Now that's a good question because, I mean, it's almost like you feel like you would learn something every day,
Yeah.
but particularly a word that you learned.
I mean, like, I saw a TikTok recently that, like, explains certain words that are actually acronyms. Like, I mean, I knew, like this guy, like, he didn't know that, like, SWAT was an acronym. Like, SWAT team. I knew it was an acronym, I just didn't know what it was, and I found out what it was, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, Geico is an acronym. It's called, I think it's Government Employed, like, industry company or something like that, like something along those, or insurance company organization. I'm pretty sure it's Government Employed Insurance Company Organization. I'm almost positive. That's literally what Geico. It's an acronym. I swear to God. Government employee. Yeah, a government employee's insurance company. Geico's a freaking acronym, man. It's not just one word. It's an acronym. It's crazy.
Geico saves you 50%.
Not sponsored by Geico.
Not sponsored at all.
But maybe. No.
Maybe.
One of these days. All right. Well, anything else? You don't really have anything?
No, I don't. I can't really think of anything else, man. Which means it's time to do.
Shit.
It is time for the audience's question of the week.
No, that's not Pikachu. That's Yu-Gi-Oh. Shit. I'm sorry. I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in a really long time.
All right. Drum roll, please. The audience question of the week is: what is your favorite meme?
I shouldn't show this meme though, but I'm gonna look up some memes that I have. I would say this one's my favorite, but I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't show them this, right? No, I shouldn't. I shouldn't show them that.
Let's look through the phone real quick. Let's look through.
That is my go-to one,
pictures.
even though it's racist. It is racist.
Look, a lot of memes involve racism.
I mean, I can show you off like some of my favorites, like like this one for the audience. Bella, the Bella dog with the eyes.
I will say, this is my favorite meme.
Oh yeah.
Is it the cat?
The cat.
Is the cat going?
Oh, another one of my favorite ones is if it's gonna play, I don't think it's gonna play. It's the one with Plankton. And he goes, Shiakashi! That's another favorite of mine that I just found on here.
The Nick Cage, Pedro Pascal.
Oh yeah, that's a
Jolly Guy
funny ass meme.
That is a good meme.
God, man, that is so fun. Yeah, I can't show this one, but I can't show that one. It's not as inappropriate as the other one, but I am still not gonna show it to y'all. Y'all gotta figure that out on your own.
Man.
But like as like, you know, staple memes, like all time, like.
Oh, I will say, this is another good one. Not necessarily the words that are.
Oh yeah, just the picture.
Just the picture itself.
Yeah. I love that one. That's a funny ass one.
Screaming.
You
know, I think that's a good.
You know what my favorite meme has been recently though?
What's that?
Is the shit twins, and it's literally just like I can't even really like blow it up here. It's literally just pictures of freaking like just two guys, and it's just the shit twins. The shit twins. The shit twins. The shit twins. Thanks to freaking Dylan for showing me that one, because I showed that to Ryan, and I'm like, this is us. And he's like, yes, that's us.
Ashley said she really enjoys the cat and the lady crying. And Jolly said, or the Anakin Skywalker talking to Padme in the field. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. All right. Can we get some other answers in chat? Got two people with some answers. Maybe some more answers from them.
This is really your answer, guys. And again, the question is, what's your favorite meme? That's the question. And that's for you guys in this chat to answer. You have a little sass.
Oh, man. Wonderful weather we're having, ain't it?
Shitty weekend, man.
Shitty
Weather-wise,
rain.
oh my god. Literally
My
everything.
sister was supposed to have a softball game yesterday, and it got canceled. Stupid rain. You had a game this weekend that got canceled.
Yep, I was supposed to have a game yesterday. And I was supposed to work at the stadium yesterday. That got canceled as well.
Ain't no money around here.
No money.
Yeah, so
God, I can't wait
guys,
for the
spread it all around. Tell all your friends to come out and check the podcast, because Matt needs some money.
Well, I mean, we're not making money on here yet.
Yet.
But
It is a possibility in the future.
Possibility, yeah.
And while we're having this little quick time out here, waiting for responses in chat, make sure you like and subscribe on today's video. And thank you for sticking around and watching the entirety of our live stream podcast, Gabagalooza. Make sure you comment, and please tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Oh god, Jolly's sending me memes. Oh! NHL referee memes!
That's a good
my
one.
god, yeah, like the blind. Oh god. Any of you guys know the rules? Nope. Wonder if anyone will ever notice. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. That's funny, man. Those are funny.
Yeah, he said
I'm
he sent you a
I'm blind,
bunch.
I'm deaf, I want to be a ref.
I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref.
That's my one of my favorite what's it called? God, YouTubers. He says that whenever they get a bad call in the game and he's playing NHL, he's be like, "I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref."
I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref. Oh, that's good.
Or in baseball, it's I'm blind, I'm plump, I want to be an ump.
I'm blind, I'm plump, oh, jeez, man. God, that's good.
Too damn good, bro. Too damn good. God, man. I remember you saying that shit all the time when I'm playing the games, man.
That is one funny joke.
One of these days, I low key, I always wanted to just say that to a friggin' umpire or a ref. Just one of these days. Probably never gonna happen, but one of these days. If I
Hey,
get
are
that
you
mad
blind?
and I remember,
Deaf?
I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref.
Man, you gotta do that like your last semester, your last game, your last appearance.
Yeah. My last game of everything is like the day I quit baseball.
Hey, are you being mean because I'm blind? I'm plump? Is it because I want to be an ump? All right. Hey, thank you, my wonderful wife, for another lovely segment of Ashley's Outrageously Random Questions. Now, if you were here last week, we ended up doing a little segment of ours called Rank Dis. If you don't know what Rank Dis is, it's where we rank things in different categories, and we rank them into the different categories, whether it be logos, old logos that we've done, or last week, candy.
We did candy.
This week, we're going to take a little spin on it. We're going to take last week's installment of Rank This Candy Edition, and we're going to bump it up a level. This is now Rank This Top Tier Candy Edition.
Oh boy.
And as we have here, we're only looking at the ones that are in this wonderful category that we have here, Creme de la Creme.
The creme de la creme.
Those are the ones that made it into our scrumptious and perfect categories in last week's Rank This segment. This week, we're going to be ranking them from 1 to 10, 11 to 20, and 21 plus.
Yeah.
So, let's get right into it. Our first contestant, and let's start this off. We are going to do this. We're going to sort them into the different categories, and then we will rank them as they are in the category.
Yep. We will start with the last of the 20s that we have remaining. And then we'll get right into 11 to 20. We'll put that in order accordingly so, and then same with 1 through 10.
Yes.
And at this point, don't mean to cut you off, but at this point, it's basically us thinking, okay, is this like not a top 20 candy? Is this a top 20 candy, or is it a top 10 candy? And then we will put them in order accordingly.
Yes. So let's get to sorting ceremony.
Let's get down to business.
Okay. Twix.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Hit the top 10, of course. Kit Kat. I would love to say top 10.
I'm just looking at the different ones on the
It's
list.
just, I know, like, I don't want to get overboard because we're going to be up to 10 already.
Yes.
And then go, shit. You know what I mean?
So, off the rip, I'm going to say top 10.
I agree. I definitely agree. Trolley.
Sour gummy worms.
Yeah. Would you be okay with it being a top 20? Or do you want it to be a top 10? Because it is a pretty popular candy now.
I would have it in top 10. Personally. Now, you're feeling 20.
Yeah, I'm feeling top 20.
So-
Definitely not reaching top 20, but
Something
top 20.
that we did last week to settle our debate is refer to Siri. So, I will once again ask her to flip a coin, and Murph will call it in the air. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
And
Flip a coin.
and it's going to be tails.
Where would you like to put it? Okay.
And it could be like 11, 12.
It could be. It very well could be, folks.
When we agree to it. Haribo gummy bears.
I think it goes in the same category.
Yeah. Like we're not like that big into gummy bears, and we would say top 10 just because of the
Hey, I love
know.
gummy bears.
Yeah, I love
do.
them, but like not as much as a bunch of these on this
Yeah.
list and these up here. Mike and I already know where you want this to be put,
Yes. You already do know where I want this to be put.
and I will agree just because I already had a winner for my category.
Awesome.
So
And
we'll give it to you as well.
I did say that this week you would try Mike and Ike's. Unfortunately, I totally forgot about
Oh
that.
no, I forgot. I
And-
forgot about that too.
Next week, we will have a special part of the show that is dedicated to him trying Mike and Ike's.
I never ate Mike and Ike's. I never did.
I'm going to say that's top 10 as well.
Dove top 10. Dove chocolate.
top 10.
I will. Yeah, because that's such a nice chocolate.
It
It's such a
is.
nice just pop
It
one in.
is.
Don't really think of it that much, but Starburst.
I'm going to put that 11 to 12.
I'll put that
20.
11 to 20 as well. I'll absolutely do that. I'm honestly fine with doing Snickers as well as 11 to 12.
I would like to put it in there as well.
I do honestly. This is probably an 11 for me though because I do really love Snickers.
Depending on how it falls, I can't really say where these are going to fall because, I mean, we're not even halfway through. So, let's continue. 21 plus. Skittles. Do you agree?
Fed's gonna hate us.
Hey, all these candies were in our were ones that we thoroughly enjoyed. The ones at the bottom of the list where Oreos is, and everyone beside that is not part of this contest.
Yeah, in this category, I mean, like we didn't really count this Oreos because like we don't
There's
really,
already one there.
There's already one there. But all these others were either we don't really care, we would skip them, or they're ass.
Yeah.
Next, regular Sour Patch Kids.
I'm kind of leaning towards 11 to 20.
Okay, I could put them 21 plus.
We're going to have to deliberate because, the further we get down the list and, however many are left in the category, we're going to have to
They're going to
determine.
have to go there anyway.
So, yes, that is automatic.
It's the same thing.
So we could.
It's right or left.
Let's keep that one up. Let's take the one with the black background and put it on the bottom.
All right, sweet.
All right, M&M's. I'm thinking this is 11 to 20.
Honestly, bro, like compared to like peanut M&Ms, this is 21 plus for me.
I agree with that opinion.
Right?
I agree with that opinion.
Yeah, because like I much rather, and we'll get to it. I much rather do the peanut M&Ms, and this is the same as well.
I agree.
I go 21 plus with
21
this one.
plus.
Chips Ahoy. Now they're not a candy, but they're a cookie candy.
Yes.
They're very addictive. What do you think?
I'm gonna go 11 to 20.
Okay, I agree. Chips Ahoy is good. Chips Ahoy is very good.
Top tier.
Want a peanut butter cup?
Top tier. That's 1 to 10.
I'll agree as well.
Dum Dum Pops. As 21 plus for me.
21 plus, yeah.
Laffy Taffy.
This would be like 11 to 20 for me as a kid, but as an adult,
21 plus.
21 plus.
Agreed, my friend.
It's good,
Agreed.
but not that good. Hubba bubba.
21 plus.
21 plus.
Gobstoppers.
That's gobstoppers.
I would put this in 11 to 20.
And I would put this 21 plus just because I never really ate them.
Okay. Murphy's going to call it in the air. Flip a coin.
And it's going to be tails. Again.
It's going 11 to 20. It is heads.
Wow. Okay. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them.
All right. Peanut M&Ms. This is another 11 to 20.
Yeah. It is almost. This could be.
Almost. We're getting
This
down
could be
to
like
the last
Snickers
few.
where it's like 11, 12.
Well, we're getting down to the last few, so we're going to, see here.
Yep.
Hershey's Kisses. I would say this is probably an 11 to 20 for me.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. I don't really eat Reese's Pieces. But I know you do.
I would put them in 21 plus.
You put them in 21 plus? Okay.
I would.
Okay. I agree.
Smarties.
Same.
I would do the same.
We're going to have to mix this up. We're going to have to
1
see
to
what
10
happens here.
Oreos.
1 to 10 Oreos. Yes. I'm very curious to hear your... Because honestly, it can go anywhere.
For me, it could really go anywhere. Because I could go off of nostalgia, I can go off of taste, or I can go off of me liking it.
Yeah, and how iconic it is.
Yeah. I'm going to say we're going to end up sticking that in 11 to 20.
Yes. Milky Way.
I think these next two are top tier.
So you'd argue that like peanut M&Ms
We're
is
gonna
better
have
than
to-
Milky Way?
We're going to have to adjust it. I do.
Really?
Now see, here's the difference. I would much rather go for peanut M&Ms because there's more and I can enjoy them longer. But if I'm gonna go for what I like, Milky Way.
All right, I'll concede. Then that's top tier as well.
All right, so let's count how many we have in these categories.
So for 1 through 10, right now as it is, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the top 10 category. Obviously not enough.
yes, not enough.
But then you look at 11 to 20, there's 10.
There's 10.
And then 21 plus, it is, it's going to be
Okay,
it's
so-
going to be what it is.
Now, here comes the part. I like our list right now. Mm-hmm. I like where we're at.
We're actually kind of close to
But-
what we would do.
I think you're gonna agree with me. 1 from 11 to 20 needs to get moved up, and then we need to move 1 from 21 plus up.
Yes. And what would it be? Well, let's go with the first one. First row right here. Second row. To go into top 10. Which one of these could potentially be number 10? Or even 9?
Personally, I would say it's a toss-up between Trolley Sour Gummy Worms and Peanut M&Ms.
I'm kind of the same too. I could even argue for Starbursts and Snickers. Snickers. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot Snickers was in there. Shit. Man, I honestly prefer Snickers over those two, in my opinion.
Honestly, though, I think we should go Peanut M&Ms. I think we both kind of hinted at
We
it.
both hinted that it's really nice, and I will agree.
Okay.
It's very nice.
All right, now we need to move one up, and I think there's one that I'm kind of looking at that I'm perfectly fine with moving up. Skittles.
Yeah.
All
We'll do
right. Here we have it. Now let's go and rank them from worst to best. Now, given there is no worst, because we enjoy all these. But let's divulge.
Which one's number 27?
Honestly,
It could
Smarties.
be. It could be either Smarties or even jelly beans because
I
like jelly beans.
I was
but
gonna
like,
say jelly beans if it wasn't going to be Smarties.
yeah. Would you agree it's 26?
I would agree it's 26.
Okay. I would like to think this goes to 25. Or even Laffy Taffy.
I would think Laffy Taffy.
Yeah. Okay. I will concur.
I will say that would go there.
Yes, and out of the top 3 and the top 21 plus.
Honestly, I'm content with 21 plus right now.
Okay. All right.
Do you feel like that top 3 needs to be changed?
No. I was just asking for your opinion, really. Like, I was kind of bet on just keeping it there. That's good. I like that. So, that's top 21. So, 27 on our list out of the top 27 candies that we picked from last week. Smarties. At 26, jelly beans. At 25, Laffy Taffy. 24, Hubba Bubba, Roll Gum. Number 24? Wait, am I dumb? Did I do that wrong? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 24. 23, Reese's Pieces. 22. What are those again?
Dum Dum Pops.
Dum Dum Pops. And number 21 is regular M&Ms.
You know, honestly, I'd also be okay with swapping M&Ms and Dum Dum Pops simply because the variety with Dum Dum Pops.
I'm gonna disagree.
Okay.
I kind of like it where it's at.
Okay.
I personally just I like it where it's at. I think M&M's should give the benefit of a doubt here. Regular M&M's should get the benefit of a doubt.
Okay. All
and
right.
plus, I just never really had Dum Dum.
Yeah.
Brings that much. All right, so we're now to the top 20, and that is the range of 11 to 20. Which one is number 20 on this list?
I think we're both going to have to agree with each other on the gum.
Okay. Yes. And then, honestly, bro, I think probably gummy bears.
Really?
I don't really think they should be that high on this list, in my opinion.
I don't think that they should be that high. But I think the bottom 2 are right.
Skittles and...
Because at one point, we thought Skittles was 21.
Okay.
So I think it has to go at the bottom of the list because I feel like we...
At number 19?
At number 19.
We'll take it. What's number 18?
Gobstoppers.
Okay, I agree.
You've never had them.
I never really ate them, so...
I had them a lot, and I wouldn't choose them now over the rest of the candy, so I would have to put them there.
Mm-hmm. Number 17?
Are we agreeing on Hershey Kisses there?
Like, where it was, like, here?
Yeah. Okay.
I
I think Gummy Bears
goes next?
there next. Yeah.
Okay.
Now...
It's a bit of a tricky part now.
We get into it. Personally, I think Starburst goes right after Gummy Bears.
Okay. I agree. And I like to think that, personally, the rest of this list is good to go.
Agreed. Agreed.
Right?
I think that the rest of... I think
that's fine.
I think 11 to 13 is perfectly fine.
I believe, and this is what I thought it was going to be. I thought Trolley and Snickers would be 11 and 12, and I could not agree more. I think that should be the case. And I think Sour Patch Kids is better than Chips Ahoy, even though I love Chips Ahoy.
I'm even okay with swapping Trolley and Snickers.
Really?
Because, I mean, I will never, ever deny a
Snicker, yeah. You're not you when you're hungry.
No, quite literally. All right.
All right, so let's 21 plus to 11 and 20.
We're down to the top 10.
We're down to the top. We are ranking the top 10 on this list that we had picked and rank this top 10 best candies. And this is going to be the hardest thing we've ever done on this show.
Okay. Can we leave number 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Peanut M&M's.
Yep.
Number 10. Agreed.
Okay.
Milky Way.
Milky Way's number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
I'm gonna have to go Dove, dude.
Honestly, same. Because, like, I'll be honest.
You gotta put it. No. You can't put them after Haichu. You can't put them after Haichu. It's before Haichu.
Before Haichu.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree. I do like Haichu. I've grown to like them. I don't really eat them as much, but I've eaten a few recently, and they're very good. Like I said in the last show.
I wanna get your. I think Mike and Ike's has to go after Dove.
Okay, I agree.
I feel like that's
that's a good like balance point for the both of us. Just for the fact that I've never eaten like Mike and Ike's, I never really ate them.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. It was reasonable.
Now.
These are so good.
Now we get into our top 6.
Top 6, baby.
And honestly, we're gonna vary. We're gonna butt heads here. I think Kit Kat goes after Mike and Ike's. I think Kit Kat is better than Mike and Ike's. But there's no way I'm choosing a Kit Kat over a sleeve of Oreos.
Oh, well, I can agree. It's just like I don't think Kit Kat is worse than Reese's Pieces or Reese's Buttercup. I think Kit Kats are better than Reese's Buttercup. It's a hot take, but it's a hot take. Oh! Bada bing! Turn your ringer off, old man!
Oh my gosh. No, I won't take that. I can't settle for that.
Dude, eating way too much Reese's just gives me like it makes me want to die.
Okay, a package of Kit Kat contains 4. A package of Reese's contains 2. You get one package over one package. Which one are you choosing?
Kit Kat.
Oh my god!
I'm picking Kit Kat. I'm sorry, bro. I'm standing to it. I don't give a shit. Kit Kats are better than Reese's Pieces or Reese's whatever the fuck they are. Buttercups. They are.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have a heart attack. You're thinking that the peanut butter and chocolate combo isn't superior to chocolate and wafer?
Yeah, but it's not a shitty wafer. There's a
It's
difference
not
between.
a shitty wafer. Okay, agreed. It's not a shitty
There's
wafer.
a difference between other wafers and wafer candies compared to Kit Kat, and nothing compared to Kit Kat in that category. It's just I go to a gas station, and I'm picking up a Kit Kat over a Reese's Buttercup. That's what I'm doing.
This is a testament to our friendship. Oh my god, I might cry.
I'm sorry. I'm taking a stand here. I am taking a stand here, bro. Like I don't usually do this with you guys. I usually like to, concede and,
You could stand up to me, but you can't stand up to others. What the fuck, man?
I can stand up to others, though.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But in this case, sorry. It's going to be a rough one. Even Jolly agrees with me.
Okay, can we put Oreo
in front of the both of them?
in front of the both of them? I mean, in front of the both of them.
See, this is the problem, though. Like now you're making me think what you're thinking. Because, in reality, man, Oreo's better than Kit Kats. But is Oreo's better than Reese's? which makes it better than Kit Kat. That's the problem.
He just contradicted himself.
I did contradict myself. But it's like one of those things like I refuse to believe it. Like I'm in denial. So it's very rough. Very rough on the edges here. But I feel like at this point we're gonna go nowhere.
I'm okay with putting Reese's before Kit Kat. I love both of them.
You think Oreos are better than Reese's? Because
No, I don't.
You don't think that?
I think that. So okay. Let's do these personally. We're at Mike and Ice here, okay? So we need to rank the top 6. I'm gonna give you my top 6 right here, okay? At 6, I have Kit Kat. At 5, I have Oreo. At 4, I have. At 4, I have Watermelon Sour Patch. At 3, I have Oreo. At 2, I have Reese's. And at 1, I have Twix.
I would agree with you. Honestly, if you didn't have Watermelon Sour Patch go so low on the list. It's top 3 to me. It's better than Oreo. I would, if I had to pick between an Oreo sleeve or a bag of Watermelon Sour Patch Kids, I'm going to be the dumbass and eat a whole bag of fucking Watermelon Sour Patch. Okay. They're so flippin' good. They're so good.
I'm thinking of this now in that context of would I eat it over the other? And I could agree with you that I wouldn't eat Oreos before I would eat Sour Patch.
Like I'm seeing that and I'm going like instantly, and then I go to the Oreos. You know what I mean?
So I said Oreo twice. I'm realizing that now.
Okay, where's High Chew?
Kit Kat, Oreo.
Oh shit. Shit. And you said Sour Patch Kids, High Chew, then Reese's, then Twix. That's what you said.
I would put High Chew too.
Over Reese's? Really? Like, it's
High Chew,
it's such an unknown candy. Like
it
compared
is.
to all these,
it is.
And
but
it's, you really think it's a top 2?
Can you? You said you had High Chews recently, correct?
Yeah, but like it didn't blow my mind.
How much flavor is packed into one of those?
A decent amount.
A decent. I feel like I put one in my mouth and
there's
it
more.
explodes with flavor.
There's more flavor in the Sour Patch Kid watermelon.
Okay, this is where opinions come in. Like, you know, this is why opinions are great and freedom of speech is a great thing.
Just to diffuse the tension.
How would you rank these?
So you're thinking this, right?
I'm thinking that.
You're thinking this. I would be more on the lines of, honestly, that. That would be my top 10 right there.
Okay. All right. Let's do this for real. Oreos at 6. Kit Kat at 5. Can we agree on Reese's at 3? I mean at 4.
Okay.
High Chew at 3. Sour Patch Watermelons at 2. And the best candy of them all
Is a Twix bar.
is a Twix bar.
Listen, I'm glad that we can agree that Twix is the superior bar on this list.
Yes.
It's the king.
By far.
It's
By far.
That's the number one. If I'm going to a gas station, I'm getting a Twix bar.
I'm getting a Twix.
If I'm going to a vending
every single
machine,
time.
if I'm going to like our campus's vending machine, it's a Twix bar. every time. I get the one long Twix bar.
Yeah,
The one with the two.
So back in Virginia, when I was in the military, we had a little vending machine, and they had honey buns. Honey buns was my thing.
Honey buns.
But if I wasn't getting a honey bun, I was goddamn get a Twix.
So can we agree that this is our list?
This, my friend, is the creme de la creme.
The creme de la creme. From number one, we'll go from 27 to 1.
27.
Do it again.
27 Smarties.
26 jelly beans.
25 Laffy Taffy.
24 Hubba Bubba roll up gum.
25 Reese's Pieces.
That's
24.
4, right? Yep. Wait. Are we dumb? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,
No,
26,
I
27.
was
Yeah.
23.
So 23
Reese's Pieces.
22. I keep forgetting the name. I can't see it from here.
Dum Dum Pops.
Dum Dum Pops. And number 21 M&M's.
Oh,
Number 20 is
they go.
the gum. 19,
Skittles.
18 Gobstoppers. 17,
Kisses.
16,
Gummy Bears.
15 Starbursts. 14,
Chips Ahoy!
13 Sour Patch Kids regular. 12,
Trolley Sour Gummy Worms.
11 Snickers.
Number 10. Peanut M&M's.
Number 9 Milky Way.
Number 7. Dove Chocolate.
Number 8 Dark Chocolate.
Number 8. Dove Chocolate.
Number 7 Mike and Ike. Number 6 Oreos.
Number 5. Kit of Cat.
Number 4 Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Number 3. Hot Chew.
Number 2 Watermelon Sour Patch Kids.
And the concisest number 1 best candy in the world. Drum roll.
Twix.
Yeah, let's give ourselves a round of applause here. Yeah.
Oh, hot diggity dog. I could actually, I'm going to put one more, just thrown in there. I could honestly, I still think Snickers are better than Milky Way. Even though they're almost the same thing.
I mean, yeah, they almost are, but
I would much rather put them at number 9 than
honestly,
11.
Man,
Honestly, at this point, that's the only thing where I'm looking at it and I'm going, that's the only change I would make to this list. Other than that, it's perfect.
Dude, I don't even think that we can properly rank the top 5 because I think 4 and 5 are tied with each other. Mm-hmm. And I honestly could say that 2 and 3 are tied with each other.
Mm-hmm. I concur.
Well, there you have it for this installment of Rank This. Top Candy Edition. Let's smile for the camera. Scene. It was a good episode, man.
That was a very good episode. One of our more real deep dive, controversial rankings of Rank This.
Yeah.
And like we said, this list can go a million different ways. You saw some of them.
Yeah.
You saw some of them, and it could really, open some eyes.
Look, there definitely could have been some Gobstoppers. I probably could have put those in my top 10. Right?
I could have put Snickers in my top 10.
I would have put the sour gummy worms in the top 10.
I could even put, since Oreos were up there, I could have put Chips Ahoy in the top 10.
Yeah. I mean, this list could have really went either way, but hey, we stuck to our guns, we came down to agreement, and we ranked them sons of bitches!
Yes!
Well, I would be not the first to tell you thank you for stopping by and spending a little bit of your evening with us on this lovely May 1st. Monday night. Thank you for stopping in. You got anything to say, man? To the lovely people at home?
If you're loving the content, please hit that like button. Yeah. Share this with your friends and family on Facebook or even Twitter or Instagram. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah. Please spread the word. We really want to, really grow our community here and start something really, really cool.
And to caveat off of that, if you guys have any pointers for us, we have our Facebook page, Gabagalooza Podcast. You can find us on Facebook. You can leave a comment in the comments after the video drops, or you can go into our Discord, Gabagalooza, and you can go ahead and leave a suggestion in there for maybe something that we could do in the future, or maybe a new segment, or maybe something that you don't like, or whatever. Mm-hmm. We want to hear from you guys, and we really want to grow this community and have a community that loves us and we love them, you know?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you for